Hi there, my name is Bill. I'm a chef instructor at the Culinary Institute of America. Today I've gathered up the ingredients so that we can make guacamole together. It's not hard to do, and if you do it yourself, it's going to be fresher, it's going to be cheaper, and likely it's going to taste better as well. I've got 3 avocados here. The first thing I want to talk about is dealing with avocados because they sit on the shelf at the store. What you need to know is that an avocado will not ripen when it's on the tree. It gives off a special gas that prevents ripening, so they only ripen off the tree. Now, once they've been harvested, a warm temperature helps facilitate ripening. My recommendation would either be a store that goes through enough avocados that you know they'll always have them ripe. Otherwise, buy them 2 or 3 days ahead and keep them on the counter and monitor their progress just by giving a little pinch on the nose here. What you're going to discover is that when they get ripe, they'll still feel relatively firm, but they'll just begin to soften here first around the nose and then the rest of the way. So if they're soft here, that's a good sign. If they are very soft over their entirety, don't buy them. Now, the next thing to do is to decide how to deal with them, how to open them. I'm going to suggest you get a knife, a big knife like this, and cut around the pit. If you're worried at all, just take a towel and put it in your hand like that. And what we'll do is we'll cut through. When you get down to the pit, the knife will stop. And then we should be able to twist them apart like that. Now, the pit is still in there. Again, put it in a towel-lined hand. Take your knife and just knock that pit and twist it out. The way to understand guacamole is that it's really nothing more than a salsa that has been enriched with avocado. So, if you look at this, I've got onions, tomato, chilies, cilantro. That's basically a salsa. I'll put it in there. This could even be commercial salsa if you didn't want to start from scratch. I'm going to begin the process of cutting them or dicing them up simply by scoring them, first one way, then the other. And once it's scored, you can just come in with a tablespoon and scoop that out. When I'm making guacamole, I assume, as popular as it is, that everybody's going to eat about a half of an avocado's worth. And so this batch, which has 3 avocados, is probably enough for 6 people. We're going to begin the process of mashing it up, but not before I season it with a little bit of salt. And I've got some lime here. I'm going to add lime juice as well. The lime juice not only makes it taste good, but it will help prevent the oxidation of this avocado. It's never fun when it looks dark, and so this acidity will neutralize the enzymes that like to oxidize. It'll also make it taste just the way it should. Now, you can adjust the amount of chilies that go into this to your own taste. I have a jalapeno here, and we took the seeds out, which tames the heat a little bit. But you could easily use a serrano chili, and if you leave the seeds in, it's going to be that much hotter. All right, we're going to begin the process of just mashing this just against the side of the bowl with a fork. And what you're looking for is not a perfect smooth mixture, but instead something that starts to become homogeneous. So the tomato is captured in the matrix of avocado. It doesn't look disjointed or awkward. It looks like it's a finished dish. If you have a difficult time taking the seed out of an avocado, chances are the reason is that it wasn't ripe. And if you get that avocado into the bowl, when you try and mash it, it just will not mash. So be extra careful to make sure that you choose your avocados well, that you bring them into your house a couple of days ahead. And if they're ripe already, you can slow down the ripening just by keeping them in your refrigerator. All right. Next, I want to just taste this. A little bit of salt will round out the flavor. All right, that only took me a few minutes. It's easy to do. This will hold very, very nicely at room temperature for an hour or 2. And then if you want to keep it longer, I would suggest putting it to the refrigerator with plastic wrap over the top. If you want to think about some variations on the theme, there's a guacamole that I love that has fruit mixed into it. Things like green grapes, red grapes, pomegranate seeds, even peaches can be folded in there. It's delicious. If you want something a little more special, take crab meat and shrimp, squeeze some lime on it, add maybe some cilantro, and fold that seafood right into this. A simple variation would simply be this. Take a green salsa made with tomatillos rather than a red salsa and do exactly what we just did. That's it. Guacamole 101.